Counter-Strike is a huge franchise in the video game world, possibly even being crowned the king of FPS games. However, for as long as people can remember, one thing has plagued the world of Counter-Strike: cheating. In online video games, primarily the FPS scene, cheating has always been a problem. With programmers comes cheats, with cheats comes problems, and the newest Counter-Strike title certainly has them. Valve's answer to our prayers came in the form of VAC, or Valve Anti-Cheat, which is software by Valve that is integrated with the Steam platform itself. The system was first released in 2002, along with the first Counter-Strike. It is said that during November 2006, 1 week, VAC detected over 10,000 cheating signatures. This means that there are over 10,000 cheating attempts in this week. Big number? Not quite in comparison to the amount of cheaters in CSGO. VAC works by detecting a cheat on a player's system. Primarily, VAC will trigger when a player runs a cheat, thus activating the game's internal memory and calling on certain game data. If this game data that the cheats call on is in VAC's database, you can probably guess that it triggers a ban. However, VAC is clever. It is common knowledge that a cheater may use different cheats or update their cheats regularly. However, due to this, VAC doesn't usually instantly ban users, but rather delay bans. For instance, VAC could detect a user cheating days, weeks, or even months before a ban is triggered on their profile. This does two things: make them believe they are getting away with their cheating, and a second impact, which is the primary focus. With a delayed ban, this means users aren't aware which cheats got them VAC banned. This results in the player not knowing which cheats are detected or undetected. Due to cheating being a cat and mouse game, banning users instantly may keep the game more clean, but it perhaps also gives programmers and cheaters the knowledge to update their cheats once, so they know what's detected by the VAC. Upon getting a VAC ban, the player's access to VAC-protected official game servers on the game they are banned from are permanently revoked. VAC bans cannot be appealed as they are automatic and detected by the system. Consequently, also, if a player is hacked and someone cheats on their account and they're banned, it's their responsibility to make sure their account is secure and thus cannot appeal a ban either. It is argued that by VAC banning players, an unintended effect would be that players can continue to repurchase the game on a different account, indirectly making Valve earn more money from game sales. Considering the number of cheaters active in the game who are banned each day, this amounts to a lot of revenue for Valve. However, this is most likely not intended by Valve and is only a side effect caused by VAC as a system. The newest title, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, aims to tackle cheaters head-on with Valve's new anti-cheat system. Enter Overwatch. Overwatch is a new prospect to scare cheaters, another thing for them to worry about. The Overwatch system is designed to allow the CSGO community to partake in regulating itself, rather than just waiting for VAC to do its job. The system allows qualified and experienced members of the community to take on the role of investigator, to review reported players to determine if they are valid, and take action if necessary. Investigators of Overwatch are presented with a case notification, in which they can choose to download a case to review. Upon reviewing the pending case, the player partakes in watching a replay of around 10 minutes or 8 rounds, in order to come to a verdict on whether the player is cheating or griefing. Overwatch investigators are selected based upon their activity within the game, and this is based upon the age of the account, hours played, competitive wins, skill group, and low report counts. Members who manage to maintain their status and who continue to submit accurate verdicts get access to more cases. A player who has reported enough times in a game or set of games is put into Overwatch. The game that they are reported enough times in is placed into the Overwatch system as a replay for the investigators to speculate. Usually the rounds that they have been reported in or the highlights are what are put into the replay for the investigators to review. Investigators must come to a verdict via a questionnaire-like prompt at the end of a case by selecting 4 boxes. These boxes are as follows: aim assistance, vision assistance, other external assistance, and griefing. These are self-explanatory and correspond to the cheats or offences the player is suspected of abusing. The punishments vary for cheaters and griefers. However, of course, cheaters are punished more aggressively. Cheaters are usually given an Overwatch ban, which bans the player from official CSGO servers and shows up as a game ban on their Steam profile. The player can also trigger an untrusted ban, which also bans their account from official servers if the game detects certain cheats they are using. Griefers are usually issued bans in the form of 30 days if they are repeat offenders. Cheating has always been a problem, but it almost seems as if now more than ever, it's the biggest problem faced in the game. In the past, cheaters have always been present, with players facing cheaters perhaps every few games, but now it almost seems as if there is at least one cheater every game, or perhaps even more that aren't suspected of cheating. Many have slated Valve for not caring about the issue, but it is clear that Valve had made efforts to attempt to tackle it. Cheating is a cat and mouse game, as mentioned before, and always has been. It can take a long time to catch a cheater, and when you take down a cheater there's almost many more remaining and new cheaters every day. It's hard to keep the game clean. One of Valve's more recent efforts, Prime Matchmaking, has helped to slightly dampen the problem. Prime Matchmaking is a new system in which players can opt into when they reach Lieutenant rank 21. Unlocking a service medal whilst in Prime mode doesn't remove access to it. The only requirement is that the player reaches 21 to be eligible. In order to activate Prime Matchmaking, a player must attach their mobile phone number to their account. Once a number has been used, it cannot be used on another account to re-access Prime Matchmaking. This means if a player is banned who has access to Prime mode, they cannot reuse their mobile on another account to re-access it at level 21. Valve made sure that certain numbers such as VoIP numbers and certain characters were unavailable when upgrading to Prime to prevent certain spoof numbers being used by cheaters and hackers. It is perhaps quite simple to purchase a cheap SIM card or use someone else's mobile phone though to re-access Prime mode. If cheaters want to do something, they will find a way, even if it means polluting Prime Matchmaking to gain an unfair advantage over legitimate players. Sometimes the community has to take matters into their own hands. A Reddit user known by Android L managed to become the puppet master behind his own scheme, which resulted in the permanent bans of over 3,000 Steam users. This was performed by producing and releasing a series of fake multi-cheats over the course of a fortnight and releasing them on cheating websites in the form of forums. The multi-cheats worked by modifying obvious and well-known values detected by VAC in the form of player ammo and health, giving them infinite values in these stats. Some features of the cheats wouldn't activate for a certain time in order to leave players out of the link and to continue using them. The final cheat the user posted would trigger an instant VAC ban upon use. Some of the other modified features the cheat affected were the player's view angles, which caused an immediate red light for VAC. The cheats received around 26,000 views and 5.5 thousand downloads in total. These leads to the bans of around 3,000 users. Although schemes like these can take down a lot of cheaters, it doesn't particularly contribute to the larger issue. There are still hundreds of thousands of cheaters out there, and unless the problem is addressed at the root, it is almost impossible to tackle the cheating problem as a whole. Due to the cheating problem, there are many different organisations offering their own matchmaking system, boasting ability to tackle cheaters and play in a clean non-cheating zone. These organisations include ESEA, Faceit, CSGO, Kickback and more. However, there are still cheaters prevalent on these servers, and with Faceit, Kickback and more being free to access, it isn't a surprise. However, even with something to lose with having to purchase membership on the popular esports network ESEA, there are still those who risk cheating. Cheat coders seem to be able to get around almost any anti-cheat. It is not uncommon to find public cheats in the CSGO scene which get around popular anti-cheats such as Faceit. There are also many private cheats on the CSGO black market, if you will, that will accept few users. These private cheats are made specifically for ESEA and other popular leagues. However, even though cheaters are common in normal matchmaking, it is also definitely apparent that cheaters are far less likely to come into contact with players who sign up for these services, as their anti-cheat systems run alongside VAC. The Counter-Strike Pro scene has grown exponentially over the past few years, and has become a large component of the esports industry in the gaming world. Perhaps, just like doping via the use of performance-enhancing drugs in professional sports, esports also has its handful of cheaters, or those suspected of using software to gain an advantage or edge over their opponents. There are those who are suspected of cheating, and those who have been banned from cheating. Pro players who cheat at the highest level employ many different means to get around the anti-cheat systems, but more than none always get exposed or caught eventually. It is interesting to think of how many players might be active in the top levels of CSGO esports who may be using cheats that haven't been caught yet. Some players use public cheats, which are those seen on forums that can be downloaded for free. These cheats are very easy for Valve to detect within time, whereas the best players who have a name to uphold and want to get away with the system, or so they think, purchase private cheats. Usually, as mentioned before, these cheats are privately programmed and only accept few clients or users, meaning they are less likely to be shared and detected. These types of cheats are very expensive, and it is suspected that some of the top players could be using them. Another way of players gaining an advantage is through the use of non-noise cancelling earphones. In the past, players have gained an advantage by hearing commentators making calls. Another questionable way of players gaining access to cheats is via smuggling USB drives or components containing cheat files inside their own gear, such as mice. Other sources also claim professionals hide their cheats in private workshop uploads to Steam, allowing themselves to download them before a game to use, although it's questionable whether these types of files would be whitelisted on workshop uploads. There have been many professional players who have been banned for the results of cheating. Although it is not 100% assured they are cheating, it can be amounted to a 99% claim that they used cheats at some point due to being caught by some form of anti-cheat system. KQLY, or Kcooley, is a French player for the team Titan Esports, or was banned mid-game by VAC. A VAC ban in a pro game results in the permanent ban of players playing in any CSGO tournaments ever again, and can be career-ending. Although initially denying the ban whilst being a Titan member, he later noticed that the ban was justified, and apologised for his decisions and how it affected the futures of his team. He later explained that the provider of the cheat assured him that many players were using it and it didn't show any visual cheats on the screen, and the only way to be caught was when it was installed or activated on the machine. Another pro player known as Flex for the team ESP is another professional player to be banned live during an event. Flex was banned during an ESEA TV live event, triggered by ESEA's anti-cheat system. After the ban, Flex allegedly commented that he had been cheating for the past week and had started cheating to stop himself from playing the game after comments of his low skill and playing the game too much was noted. It's been seen in the past that alleged cheaters who were banned from ESEA caused other pros to be banned on official tournament servers. It is rumoured that Valve have contacted ESEA in the past to find signatures for detected cheats on their server to update VAC's database to deal with cheaters in the pro scene. If this is an effort on Valve's behalf to tackle the problem, I'm not really sure what is. Permanent solutions for Valve are questionable. In the past, it is alleged that the anti-cheat system Punkbuster was sued for scanning users' computers for cheat files. For this reason and many others, VAC has limits to what it can do as an anti-cheat, and aspects like this does really hinder progress in the battle against cheaters in the game. To look at feasible solutions, however, we must first look to the other anti-cheat systems and how they go about their methods of dealing with cheaters. Overwatch, not to be confused with the system in CSGO, is a newer title by Blizzard Entertainment. It looks to tackle hackers head-on with a zero-tolerance approach. Hackers on Overwatch are instantly banned, and those who have purchased the game on other accounts have been banned instantly once more. Developers taking a no-nonsense and zero-tolerance approach is possibly the only way to deal with hackers. If VAC instantly banned detected users, it would definitely address the problem of cheating in CSGO, but it would also make it easier for developers of private cheats to evade the ban hammer and being detected by simply reprogramming aspects of their cheat. Whether in the professional scene or the matchmaking pool, whether you're prime or non-prime, CSGO will most likely continue to have a cheating problem. With different methods being used by programmers and cheaters every day to evade punishment, it is hard to say if we will ever face a fair game in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you like this style of documentary video, there is a playlist of more on this channel. If you want to see future videos like this or have any suggestions, feel free to get the discussion started in the comment section below by leaving your feedback. If you enjoyed the content, please help out the channel by subscribing, and thanks for watching.